Here we go. What is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good. Week 5 is kicked off, baby. We had Thursday Night Football last night between the Washington Commanders, the Commies, and the Chicago Bears. Very interesting, but we're talking boomer bust week number 5. Who's going to boom? Who's going to bust? Making my predictions this week. Been doing fairly well so far on the regular on who we're picking boomer bust-wise. There's always going to be a miss here and there. I mean, predicting anything in the NFL as a week-to-week league is very difficult, but let's go. Dalvin Cook, first one on my board. It's been an absolute disappointment for all of us, including myself, who believed the potential was going to be, split carries at least in this backfield to a 60-40 clip. It has not been that way. Dalvin Cook, 13.8 points, 0 boom game so far since week 1. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers goes down, and the entire dynamic of this Jets offense has changed, man. They have not used Dalvin basically whatsoever, and now the Jets have come out saying Breece will no longer have the shackles put on him, and he's going to get increased touch share in this offense. I mean, what does this mean for Dalvin Cook? This means that he's not necessarily going to be fantasy viable outside of an injury to Breece Hall. Let's hope that does not happen because we do not cheer for injuries. But, I mean, Dalvin should get a sprinkles here and there. I think the Jets would be absolutely, thinking positively to utilize these two running backs more so than a Zach Wilson to get him more comfortable. But, I mean, his value has dropped drastically, Dalvin Cook I'm speaking of. I'm calling a bust in a good matchup. There is potential here that he does have a boom, but it's far too risky for us to trust, man. Devin off the A-chain. A-Chan, 76.2 points. This guy's just flown on the freaking radar ever since that huge 200-yard-plus contest off the A-Chain. I'm going to continue to call him off the A-Chain. That's my nickname. He's blown up on the scene. Coming to, off the loss to the Buffalo Bills, still blowing up in the run game. He has looked very good. A-Chain has another great matchup, and Raheem Mostert, he didn't practice Wednesday. Could have been a vet rest day, but we'll see. Mostert and A-Chan are definitely going to be duking it out for touches in this offense as they continue to move forward. The running back role could be moving to this rookie, which is great news if you got him off the waiver wire. I see another boom coming for Devin off the A-Chain. Tony Pollard, 58.7 points, 75% boom rate for this man. He's been doing great so far this season. Coming off a bust game this past week, surprisingly enough, he's been super consistent up to this point. But, it's rebound time coming up against a tough matchup versus 49ers. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the last time he played the Niners, he did suffer an injury, so this is the time for him to show out what he can do. The matchup is not great. All y'all going to be sweating this one. But I think they're going to have to lean on this running game a lot in this contest because the 49ers defense is still extremely solid, and they will give these Cowboys a run for their money. It's going to be a hard-fought contest, but I'm calling back to the good graces for Tony Pollard. Boom for Tony Pollard this week. Alexander Madison, 50% boom rate, and ever since, okay, fine. They moved away from Dalvin Cook. They finally got their first win of the season. With Matty running the ball extremely well this past week, maybe the competition of adding Akers to this backfield has, lit a fire underneath Madison's butt because he looked better than last week than he has all season. Seeing a very tough matchup versus Kansas City Chiefs. Establishing the run might be harder than we think and expect. Cousins should still pass the ball early and often in what could potentially be a shootout through the air. Calling a bust for Madison unless he gets into the end zone to save his fantasy day. It's going to be very tough sledding for this man against his Chiefs defense. No kidding. Wide receiver time. Romeo Doubs, 75% boom rate, baby. And this is going to continue for this man. The Packers have impressed so far this season with love. Romeo Doubs, he's paying back owners who snagged him in the last round of their drafts. I got him in the last round of my drafts. Everybody was sleeping on a Romeo because of Christian Watson, not believing that Jordan Love could, spread the ball around to these wide receivers. It has been foiled, man. Jordan Love can spread it all around and support multiple pieces. Romeo Doubs has been extremely well developing, I should say, the chemistry with a Jordan Love. It's been on point at this point so far, and it should continue even with a Christian Watson on the field. The Raiders will struggle to cover this youthful pass game, and I'm all for it. Boom! Game for Romeo Doubs to show out a Devontae Adams who's playing on a revenge game. They want to show out and say that Green Bay Packers are still for real. Jerry Jeudy, he has not been good this year. 33.3% boom rate. It is not good, and I mean, this Denver Broncos offense has not been terrible fantasy-wise. Yes, it's not, translating to victories on the scoreboard, but, I mean, fantasy points have been flying from Russ. He's been, basically spreading the ball to all his wide receivers, with exception of a Jerry Jeudy. I don't understand why he can't find this man on the regular. Only posted one boom game. I mean, barely hitting that mark as well for Jeudy. His role seemingly is being replaced by rookie Marvin Mims. It's crazy to watch as we're seeing it in live time. It's not been a good season for Jerry Jeudy, and until further notice, until we see him pop off, it's a bust once again this week for Jerry Jeudy. Michael Wilson, Arizona Cardinals rookie. Okay, he got his first boom game this past week, and the Cardinals have impressed me this season. Gannon apparently does know how to coach football, and he's got this team overachieving at this point, which is good news for fantasy football. I mean, they have the Josh Dobbs massive turnaround. We could basically call him another version of a Geno Smith. Career basically over. Finds his way to Arizona, and he is making it look easy, man. Dobbs finding that rookie now on the regular, expanded role potentially coming for a Michael Wilson. I mean, I do believe it's coming, man. He's big, he's fast, his hands look great. He's the perfect complement to somebody like a Hollywood. I think another boom game is coming for this rookie in this contest. It should be another good showing. Hopefully you snagged him off that waiver wire because he could pay dividends in your flex spot. Adam Thielen, another wide receiver that I was talking about all offseason, saying that he was a late-round gem that we all needed to get because PPR upside was definitely here, man. Adam Thielen's name is the one that I did preach for this offense because rookie Bryce Young requires, those safety blankets that Adam Thielen has been repaying. Yes, he did pop off with the red rifle, Andy Dalton, more so than he has with Bryce Young, but he looked good this past week with Bryce, so maybe things are starting to turn just a little bit, man. He's been the essence of reliability throughout his entire career. He's been proving it again to be that trusted PPR guy, booming 3 games in a row, and he's now facing the Lions, which is going to be a tough contest for Adam Thielen. I'm calling a bust on this one. It's going to be very close, like I said, unless he gets into the end zone. I think the Lions defense is good enough that they're going to put a lot of pressure on a Bryce Young. It's going to be tough sledding for Adam Thielen to get you those top end numbers. Tight end time, Dalton Kincaid. 0% booms. The Bills just, the Bills look different. They're spreading the ball around, but we got to see Dalton Kincaid finally utilizing this offense. I do believe this is the week, man. The rookie tight end has not done much so far. I understand, it's time to unleash this man with a great opportunity versus the Jags playing in London who struggle versus covering tight ends. It is definitely time to unleash this rookie. What can we say about him? No boom games to speak of just yet, but you got to think, man, one has to come eventually. They got to give him a bigger role. Let's put it out there on a limb. It's a big risk, but it could be a big reward. Let's call a boom for Dalton Kincaid. Tyler Higbee, he's been okay this season the last 2 weeks. He has seen his role expanded just a little bit with the additions of Puka Nacua and, Tutu Atwell doing the damage. Higbee's kind of been the forgotten man, only 27.6 points, but the tight end spot is very difficult to trust in this fantasy football season. It has not been good whatsoever. Higbee's found his way with more targets. Like I said, this past 2 weeks, facing the Eagles, who are struggling also with pass defense, there could be an ample opportunity for Stafford to go check down Charlie to his guy Higbee. We could see even a TD pop off in this game. I would not be surprised. TD booms have been hard to come by this season, but I'm calling a tutty for a Higbee, so let's call it a boom for Tyler Higbee. Jake Ferguson, he's been all right in this Dallas Cowboys offense. Replacing Dalton Schultz has been an easier transition than most had anticipated, including myself. Did not expect it to be at least this good. It's not great, but at least it's better than most had expected. That's for sure, man. He's played well these first 4 games. Dak still loves to sprinkle in the tight end for usage to do the business. And the 49ers, they will keep tabs on all these wide receivers, including a CeeDee Lamb, which could leave Jake Ferguson open in this contest. But based on the fact that they have not used any supportive pieces like a Brandon Cooks or much of a Michael Gallup, I do expect a lot of Tony Pollard and potentially a lot of CeeDee Lamb or Michael Gallup in this contest. 49ers should take away the tight end spot. It could be very close to a boom here as well, but I'm going on a limb with this one as well, calling a bust for a Jake Ferguson. George Kittle in that same contest, last one on my board. It's been an awful, dreadful season for George Kittle as they've been utilizing a CMC Brandon Ayuk more than anybody. Debo getting in the mix as well, finding his way back to the medical room. Subsequently, the 49ers have not used Kittle much this season due to all of those situations, playing against a very solid Dallas defense. This man, he could be the X factor. You got to believe, right? Debo's still dealing with that injury. We got to see other players come to the fold. Brock Purdy's been a magician back there dealing the ball with high efficiency. Only boom booming, and 25% of contests so far for George Kittle has not been good. Colossal bust right now for where you probably picked a George Kittle, but I got a feeling, man, he's going to repay you this week with a TD time. Let's call a boom for Mr. George Kittle. But there you have it. That is week number 5, boomer bust. We got a lot of players we got to look at. I'm going to be dropping start sit for you on Saturday, so get ready for that. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.